We've done almost the same thing for 10 years. We're fully transparent with our agents. They know if they're in what we call hot, warm, or cold leads. Hot leads, they've been dialed no times or they've been dialed one time. Warm leads, they've been dialed 2 times to 4 times. And then cold leads are 5 plus. And then we actually have one more, which we consider our colder leads that are greater than 48 hours old. You guys are going to crap yourself when you hear me say this. We disqualify our leads after 48 hours. Good morning. Video number 2 this morning. Something that spun off of, somebody's not happy this morning. Something that spun off of the last video when I was talking about the different mix of channels of leads that we get and that type of stuff is, what do we send to our agents? How do I send leads to our agents? What types of leads do we send to our agents? We've done almost the same thing for 10 years. And I'm a big believer on we're fully transparent with our leads. They are our agents. They know if they're in what we call hot, warm, or cold leads, and really what we consider hot, warm, and cold. Hot leads, they've been dialed no times or they've been dialed 1 time. Warm leads, or they've been dialed 2 times to 4 times, okay? And then cold leads are 5 plus. And then we actually have one more, which we consider our colder leads that are greater than 48 hours old. Okay, you guys are going to crap yourself when you hear me say this. We disqualify our leads after 48 hours. Okay, working hours, right? Now, if they came in on a Sunday at 2 p.m., right, we don't actually start that clock, I think, until Monday morning at 5 a.m. and then we'll dial them up to 48 working hours from there. Okay, some of you guys are going to say, you're crazy, I dial them for 3 weeks. Yeah, we just don't do it. We've realized that time is money. Not everything we do is 100% right, but we let data talk to us. Okay, so transparency though. So when an agent comes on, my lead costs are anywhere from $15 to $75 typically, right? My Google search campaigns, a lot of them, some of them are running in the mid 70s right now, and we're fully transparent. So, what we end up doing is they start in the 48 plus hour old leads, and as they get their scripting down, as they get their tone down, as they get all their rebuttals and their objections, because a lot of times, you call somebody that's 48 plus hours old. You guys know it as well as I do. If you guys buy any digital leads or, generate any digital leads, whether that be social, that be search, that be display, YouTube, you typically call them at 48 hours old. Oh, I've already got it taken care of. I'm already good, right? That's going to be your number one objection, is I'm already taken care of. So as these agents, and we're hiring in groups of, this year was anywhere between 15 to 25. This last class was 22. This newest class that we're hiring right now is at 25, right? As they get better with their scripting and they're overcoming objections and their tone with their scripting, they go into better buckets. Okay, so they all start off in colder, and it's not, hey, you hit 5 sales, right? Because you know it as well as I do, there's laydowns out there, right? It's very, some people, just get the laydowns, T65s, they're going to buy from anybody at that point. So we don't do it based upon that. We have a scoring system. Once they hit a certain score with the tonality and scripting and all that, okay, then we move them into that next bucket. So we'll go in from colder to cold to warm, and then we've essentially got 2 buckets for hot. We got our social hots, and then we've got our essentially search and SEO hots, right? The more expensive quality hots are in the 2 different buckets, okay? And then again, they graduate into the next one, then they graduate into the next one. At 91 days of being on the phones, then we put them into call-ins, okay? Now, mind you, we're mainly a outbound shop, okay? Now, when I say outbound, a lot of people think, oh, well, that's cold calling, and you're dialing off a dialer and a list and stuff like that. No, these are people that came to our website, okay, that just that want information, that just inquired. Typically, we try to call them within 30 seconds of them inquiring. Okay, so it is a hot outbound call. Okay. And then we have about 10% of our leads that are inbound that they just decide to call us and they want to talk to an agent right away. Those go to what we call our JR4s. Okay, so 4+ months on the phone, or at 4 months on the phone and up, and then they get those. Okay. We've tried different stuff. We tried putting them in HOTS right away, but those agents, again, just imagine spending $75 a lead, 13 to 14 leads a day, and they're converting at 2%. It just doesn't work, right? So, we want them to get the objections, we want them to get the rebuttals, we want them to do all that type of stuff, before they get into my expensive leads. It's worked out very, very well. Some of the things that we are working on, and if you decide, if you end up coming and working with us as an FMO and come under our agency, I'm more than happy to help you out with this and even help you out with our cadences and stuff like that. Because again, we only dial for 48 hours. However, we're dialing them up to 11 times in those 48 hours. There's a specific cadence that we use that we've done a lot of research on, tried different things. There's some technologies that we use to help us with that cadence when we know that somebody's going to pick up the phone or not pick up the phone. There's some technology that's out there that we leverage, and we know, hey, this person picks up the phone between 3 and 5 o'clock. That's the best window to call them on a Tuesday, so we're going to call them between 3 and 5. That's some of the technology we're more than happy to help you guys out with, if you're under our brokerage channel, under the FMO side of it. But a couple of the things that we are working on, and we're going to test it out. It's our AI engineers working on it right now from a lead scoring perspective. Is we do lead score our leads, and we ultimately say, hey, what's the likelihood from a 0 to 100% that a lead is going to qualify or turn into a core policy? Now we're not only looking at all of our first party data, hey, what campaign did they come from, what keyword, what ad group, what creative, we're looking at all of that. And then we're also looking at some third-party data that we leverage. That's an amazing company. We've been working with them in a couple different ways for the past 3 years. More than happy to share that information with you if you end up working with us. But what we do is we append, and the match rate's about 75%. We append household income. We append, whether they have a spouse, do they own their own home, what type of dwelling is it? You name it. I think there's I'd be lying to you if I could tell you exactly what it is, but I think there's 200 plus data points, on that. And then we go ahead and throw that into the system, and then we do the lead scoring on it. But again, we dial the way that our cadence dial is, lowest to highest amount of outbound calls. Okay. Because every one outbound call, your contact ratio drops substantially, and I can tell you exactly what that is for our own internal stuff. Again, if you work with us, but then we're doing it based upon number of outbound calls, lowest to highest, and then the lead score. Okay, and then we're dialing. So we used to do it based upon oldest to newest, but what our lead scoring does is every so often, I don't know if it's every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I forget, it could be every minute for all I know, it goes in there and it rescores it. So that score is going to go lower or higher, okay, based upon other things that happen within that lead, okay? We just implemented that about 2 weeks ago. I mean, it looks, and we're looking at the models now, it looks like it's working well. I don't know if it's going to give us a 3% bump or 15% bump or 1% bump. I don't know. Ask me whenever we have a conversation, if you have a conversation with me. But going back to agent routing and that side of it, we're going to, so the next thing that our AI engineer is working on is actual matching a lead to a specific agent. I can tell you this, there are some, our average closing ratio on Facebook leads are 5 to 6%, okay? and Google search are 15 to 20%, right? Now, we have some agents that close Facebook at 15 to 20%, and then we have some, I mean, most of our Google search, is still at least 10+%. So what we're looking at is, hey, a lead comes in, there's 20 agents that are available, go score it against those 20 agents based upon some certain mechanisms, and then send that lead to that agent that is more likely to close it. We've never done that. We've always done a true round robin. As you get into the different buckets, and go watch my other video, I'll link the other video about our leads and all that type of stuff, the closing ratio. I'll tell you some stuff about what we're doing. But stay tuned. I expect it to work. I just don't want it to get out of hand where, it's always going to our top performance. Now, they only get a certain amount of opportunities in a day. They have to hit certain call times and stuff like that. But hey, listen, at 10 minutes. So if you have more questions on this video, we're getting into the FMO space for obvious reasons. Your FMO is probably not giving you these nuggets like this. We've got all the top deals that are out there, either direct or the top of the top of the top. Majority of them are direct. Would love to have a conversation with you, myself, or one of our team members. We're only looking to work with so many groups this year, over the next 12 months. So hey, reach out to us. Reach out to us on theelitebrokerage.com. You can send us email at brokerage@teameip.com. Reach out to us on any of our social media accounts. We'll set up a meeting, have a conversation. 30 minutes never hurts anybody. If you like us, you love us, great, let's work together. We'll make it easy and painless for you to move. If you hate us, hopefully you got something out of the call. Hey, let's make it a great day, make it a great week, and appreciate you guys.